thing was a script idea that came to my head, and I thought I have to write a film about an actress playing a mentally disturbed woman. But to really write the script, I had to go back into the mental institution, and I went in. I thought I will spend about 3 days maybe there, and I'll make my notes and sort of get whatever I can get from the place. But those 3 days stretched to like 23 days.
So that actually turned into a poetry book and a line of artworks that she has done. Yeah. So I've invited her to share with us some of the poetry.
Thank you. Violent and frenzied, the thin blue metallic hand flashes nervously across the gaunt shaven head, her stark eyes glistening. Bewildered at her own act, the old wrinkled face crumbles before you. Astounded, you stare, don't dare move. In her triumph, she's all child, all Satan, wretched mother, truly Medea, creator, destroyer, glowing in her pain. I was to shoot for a film for Amol Palekar, and there were 2 scenes in the film where I had to be hallucinating and going. I was very nervous about those scenes. I thought I should do my homework. I should visit a mental institution. I should look at the women there. And he said, don't do any of that. But I sneaked, into one of these places, and in Ranchi, actually. And I spent like a couple of hours there, just walking through the women's ward and just looking at people and faces. And when I came back to my shoot, I was so drained, completely drained of energy. And I thought, my God, one little visit can have such an impact on me. I mean, what about these women who are there for a lifetime, some of them, so that triggered a whole thought process in my head.
Yeah, but the journey didn't end for you there. And what happened afterwards?
Started actually. Yeah.
What was the next step?
The next thing was a script idea that came to my head, and I thought I have to write a film about an actress playing a mentally disturbed woman, and how it through the filming, how her own ghosts will pop out from the closet and she'd have to face them. So that script started to happen, and in my head first. But to really write the script, I had to go back into the mental institution, and I went in. I thought I will spend about 3 days maybe there, and I'll make my notes and sort of get whatever I can get from the place. But those 3 days stretched to like 23 days, because I just got involved with what I was seeing and being there, and the women, I got to know so many of them closely, and I just, it was these little relationships with each one of the women there that happened, and that made me stay on, and I was just curious, and I got into it further and further. Of course, it's very, very, it was a sea change for me, the trip to those 23 days, because I could never look at life in the same way again. All that I have written, I used most of my material that I studied there, used it for the script, but then there were a lot of stray images that floated around in my head, and I've tried to put those.
So that actually turned into a poetry book and a line of artworks that she has done. Yeah. So I've invited her to share with us some of the poetry.
Thanks. It ached and itched, it grazed her skin, had now begun to deface her. One day, when no one looked, she quietly pulled it off, folded it carefully, and put it away on the shelf. After that day, when no one ever recognized her. Dark alleys of the mind, an illness lurks, crawling back, spreading. Somewhere in the head, a nerve quivers and snaps. Is anybody there? I need help. She stands at one end of the veranda, a naked bulb glows at the other end, staining the dark floor with dull yellow light. Beyond the empty ward drag echoes of the autumn night. From pillar to pillar, in severe silence, skulk slithery shadows. Out alone in the cold, she stands night after night, fighting her demons. Her body, frail and brittle, flaps leaf-like on two glass feet, the torched face broken, then tacked together so bluntly the ragged joints show. Hounded eyes that do not blink. Frozen in a death-like glaze, her fragile spirit splintered. These are not the features she was born with. This is the face we gave her. Wild night howls across the dazed courtyard through a maze of red blankets. One stark eye stares, cuts through me. I want to look away, turn around to run, but I can't. This is a poem called Medea. She's 80, perhaps 100, ancient they say. At the far end of Murgagni ward, where brilliant sunlight splits the veranda into two, she sits on a bench in unnerving calm, holding a stick, looking inward. Horror simmers just below the surface. The tragic act moves beyond caricature. Limping on a stick, she bolts towards you in feverish intensity, holding you there, confronting you, all eyes, nerves, body, in a single frenzied gesture. Hacking off the neck, cutting the raw nerve, splitting the body into two, one fatal blow after another, the man first, then her babies. That's how she'd done it. Violent and frenzied, the thin blue metallic hand flashes nervously across the gaunt shaven head, her stark eyes glistening. Bewildered at her own act, the old wrinkled face crumbles before you. Astounded, you stare, don't dare move. In her triumph, she's all child, all Satan, wretched mother, truly Medea, creator, destroyer, glowing in her pain. Over and over, she mimes the brutal act till they drive her away and drag her back to the far end of Murgagni ward. The stick clacks, drops to the floor. A blue metallic hand lies trembling on her feeble thigh. Brought in at 20, 60 years in the bin where brilliant sunlight splits the veranda into two, she sits tied to the bench in unnerving calm, holding a stick, looking inward, hounded by the one dark memory she lives to forget. In the chill of the winter night, walking the eerie length corridor after corridor, chasing a single scream. Splashes of scarlet spill into the night, curled up, bodies in rows of frayed blankets behind locked doors lie sedated, drugged to sleep. All is still, as in still life, except for one wretched scream. Stop, somebody stop her. Where are the attendants, the strong butch women? A girl needs help out there, damn it. Torch in hand, one gloomy length after another, I pace through the dark, through fog, through fear, through stark verandas slashed by light. Sounds of my footsteps echo from other wards. Mindlessly I follow from pillar to pillar, bizarre patterns of light on the black and white tiles, till finally, at the end of the night, trapped within the spotlight, the scream crashes into silence. One terrified eye, amidst a mesh of groping hands, stares at the barred window, does not blink. My hand shakes. The torch flickers. I'm startled by the resemblance. Who is this woman? Where have I seen this face before? The lunatic is out on a wall. She sits there in the cold, counting twigs. The light has passed through her brain. She is illuminated, she says. The river runs through the left vein of her bandaged wrist. She has swallowed a fistful of dreams. Her gut reeks of Milky Ways. Turquoise pebbles play in her skull. A cold, dry wind wafts, stirs leaves around. The ward is silent now. All screeching has died down, only one sound remains. It's the last call, siren for sanity. The lunatic will not get off the wall. She's out on a call, the light has passed through her brain. She's illuminated, she says. There's another version of the lunatic is out on a wall, something that I unfortunately witnessed. The lunatic is out on a wall, prodded by the attendant's call. It is her turn tonight. Through the courtyard, nudged and pushed in the dark, she's shoved against a wall, too dizzy to figure out why. Two pairs of hands pluck at her scanty breasts. The stink of obscenities cloud her ears before she knows she's yanked to the floor. Unseen hands ram fingers into her skin. Her head reels in slow motion. Her eyes are a fixed glaze. What is that beyond the tree? A pale disk rocks in the bare branch. A pallid god looks on. It's quick and easy though. She's done with it. No bruises, no gashes. Only her head rolls back in the grass, weightless. What is it? This awesome thing. Two pairs of legs scramble across the wall, disappear into the night. She's left on the floor with this sticky thing. Then she sees it, clear as a chimera. It's the moon she always wanted. It is here now, right here beyond the tree, the tangible delusion, its misty radiance, fingertips away. She lies still looking at it, very still, till the attendant's baton jabs at her. The lunatic is walking back from the wall, crooked, clumsy, her legs apart. No, she don't weep, she don't bleed, she don't know it hurts. She's too dazed to utter a small four-letter word, R-A-P-E. The electric shock. Waves in frenzy. A sudden splitting of the blue sky. Galaxies within crackle. Shards. Then a death-like stillness they call calm. Once the winter is over, they'll come for me, people from home. That's what you said, doctor, didn't you? Yes. Tomorrow. Women clamor at his ears, prick his lobes with pledges. Each day he walks the wards, they ruffle, threaten, and cajole, wheedle him with tears and curses, hound him through the entire length. When? He laughs on his lanky legs, the poor wretched thing, and hastens his pace, the rabble at his heels. Tomorrow, he winces. Tomorrow? There is no other way. Tomorrow is the only word he knows, closest to the end of time. Wind struck, the white face fell, cracked on the glass floor. Just one light shaft cut across the silence. They've swept away pieces of a fragmented body and laid to waste a brilliant mind. Thank you.